welcome. This is the mailbox here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. right here on your favorite gospel station, Love 101 FM. This is the program facilitated by men. Kevin Bailey here, co-host Courtney Morrison, and we have some very interesting guests. We had them last week, but just let you know that this is where we challenge, encourage, and empower our men to become all they were created to become. The mailbox is brought to you today by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosrich Company Limited. Let's hear it for Fosrich Company Limited. I want to thank them for sponsoring us.
It's almost Christmas, and Fosrich is inviting you to Christmas in November super sale. November 21 to December 1. Enjoy massive discounts on lighting, chandeliers, wall lamps, electrical plugs, wires, conduits, and so much more in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Christmas come early, and we'll be unwrapping massive discounts of up to 60% off. It's Christmas in November super sale. November 21 to December 1. Only at Fosrich.
That's right.
I am a man, yes.
I am a man, and we are men in this place. Well, guess what? Have some single men in churches, offices, and social groups stop looking for romantic relationships? Some single people now turn more to dating apps and various tools to meet other persons interested in a relationship that may instantaneously evaluate romantic prospects. There are a number of factors that affect young men and marriage, including 1, marriage benefits. Young men may not be taught about the benefits of marriage, such as how to build a strong family and what women want in a husband. Fulfillment. A 2023 Pew Research Center survey found that young adults are less likely to say that marriage is important for a fulfilling life compared to having a job or close friends. 3, there's a boy crisis. The Heritage Foundation, based in Washington, D.C., says that the boy crisis impacts men academically, economically, physically, and spiritually. They also say that addressing the boy crisis through marriage could help end the dad deprivation that is a driver of the crisis. Also, dating expectations. Some say that young people often expect romantic interactions to include some form of sexual exchange. And finally, marriage age. There are discussions happening in this era that the ideal age to get married is between 28 and 32 years, as this age has the least likelihood of divorce in the first 5 years. This is the program designed for men with guests who are men, hosted by men, and it's aired every Wednesday, unless it's a holiday at 5:30 p.m. right here on Love 101 FM, the family station. It's the mailbox. I'm Kevin Bailey, and my co-host right here.
Hey, Kevin. Good afternoon, Jamaica. Good afternoon, World Wide Web. I'm Courtney Morrison. And to all our listeners, just want to say thanks for making Love 101 your station of choice. Yes, we're talking about the topic today, young men and marriage. And this is part 2. We did part 1 last week. The expectations about romantic relationships forming out of friendships may be a challenge in this era. Yes? What are some of the hurdles that young men face while dating? What is the right age for a young man to get married? Is there a right age? These are some of the questions we're asking today, Kev.
Sure, Courtney. I'm going to talk a little bit about one of our guests, Brian, and then Courtney, you're going to introduce the second one. So here it is, a little bit about Brian Beadle, a 32-year-old Christian man who is a youth ministry leader, photographer, videographer, and content creator. He's husband to a queen by the name of Charmian Marie Beadle for the last 5 years, and have been partners in love, entrepreneurship, and ministry. Brian is the man who loves Jesus and does his best to please him and serve others. Courtney, welcome, Brian. Welcome again.
Welcome back,
Good
Brian.
evening, good evening. You hearing me?
Oh, yes, we're hearing you.
Great.
Good. Our
Glad to
second
be back.
guest is Mr. Darren Salmon. He's 33-year-old. He's a Christian husband, poet, and columnist. He is a financial advisor by profession, working and excelling in the financial service industry for the past 3 years. Darren is a relationship enthusiast who has been writing relationship management articles since his college days. He previously wrote for Christian Today, an outline Christian magazine, which is based in Australia. Now he writes for Jamaican-owned PAJ magazine. Darren also hosts a podcast on YouTube where he blends his understanding of scripture and psychology called The Worst Relationship Advice Ever. His aim is to enlighten his audience as to the possible reasons their relationships are not working out from a biblical perspective. Good afternoon, Darren. Good to have you again with us this afternoon. Welcome again back to the mailbox.
Hey, thank you so much, Sir Courtney.
Yeah,
Great to have you both, gentlemen. And so we want those who are tuning in to remember we want to hear from you. Actually, this is a participatory program. And so we want to hear from you. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And remember, you can leave your comments via WhatsApp line. Yes, this number is 876-997-3125. That's 876-997-3125. We're also on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. Please interact with us. Thanks.
That's so true. Ladies, what I want to say, greetings to all of you. Of course, we can't do without you. So thank you so much for your support, by your encouragement and your prayers, as well as encouraging the man them to listen to the program. So we want you to share your perspective. What is the right age for a young man to get married? Is there a right age based on your experience? We want you to share, and probably you can share why as well. You can participate in the program by leaving us a message via WhatsApp, Facebook, YouTube. Females, remember, no calls or voice note allowed.
Well, we know we started late, but we're still going to take our first break. It's now 5:45 in the afternoon. When we come back, we'll go into the answer for that question. What is the right age for a young man to get married? We have Darren Salmon and Brian Beadle along with Kevin and Courtney. This is the mailbox. We come right back after these messages.
You have a good evening too. Last call for the day. I can't wait to get home.
Sometimes, all you want to do is get home. To the place where you feel safe, where it's all your own and you can spend time with family. Daddy, one last game of Ludi, please.
All right.
NHT, the key to your home, has home builder and home buyer loans to help you get home. And if you're planning to fix up the home you have, our home improver loans will help bring those ideas to life. With the NHT, there are more possibilities for you to get home.
Home with NHT, more possibilities. Get home with NHT. Turn a dream home into reality. It's a one in a million feeling. When the phone start to ring, everyone starts to sing. Gifts keep on giving. Christmas in joy. Bro, makes every day better by Christmasing with you. Everyone who signs up for Yard and Road for only $5,300 plus GTC gets a $25,000 supermarket card. Plus 5 lucky customers could win extra cash of $1 million each. Christmasing is the most time of the year.
Offer ends December 31, 2024. Conditions apply.
It's Black Friday Madness again. Jamaica, we are giving you another weekend of mega discounts. The Black Friday Mega Sale Part 2 at Woman Things. Every single item in store, 30 to 70% off this Friday, December 6th, with big Saturday specials too. It's Black Friday again at Woman Things, Old Road Road and Constant Spring Road. Discounts are nice. We are doing it twice. See you there.
This holiday season, JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union Limited wants you to spruce up your celebrations with our Christmas combo loan at up to $200,000. A fixed interest rate, no credit check, and up to 24 months to repay. It's never been a better time to join. Membership is easy and you may be eligible. Conditions apply. Call us or visit www.jpscu.com to learn more and get started today. JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union Limited, your financial partner for life.
It's almost Christmas, and Phosphate is inviting you to Christmas in November Super Sale. November 21 to December 1. Enjoy massive discounts on lighting, chandeliers, wall lamps, electrical plugs, wires, conduits, and so much more in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Christmas come early, and we'll be unwrapping massive discounts of up to 60% off. It's Christmas in November Super Sale. November 21 to December 1. Only at Phosphate.
Every Thursday morning, Love 101 shares with you power-packed messages, words of encouragement, and testimonies of God's miraculous power. You get all of that in the Don't Give Up broadcast, brought to you by Celebration Church at the Portmore Skating Rink in the Portmore Mall with Pastor Prophet Michael Carter. Be sure to stay tuned to Love 101 for the Don't Give Up broadcast. Get the word you need to start your day right. The Don't Give Up broadcast, Thursdays at 5:15 a.m. on the family station, Love 101.
It's here once again under the distinguished patronage of His Excellency, the Most Honorable Sir Patrick Allen, Governor General of Jamaica, the 32nd National Prayer Vigil. Join us for an evening of prayer for justice, peace, unity, and healing on Sunday, December 8th, 2024, from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. at the Sharon Baptist Church, 35 Main Street, Santa Cruz, St. Elizabeth. Don't miss this opportunity to unite in prayer for our nation.
Yes. Welcome back. It's the program The Mailbox. I'm Courtney Morrison. Sitting in with me is my co-host, Kevin Bailey. We also have with us our guests, Dan Salmon and also Brian Beadle. It's part 2, young men. We need to really define the age of youth. Young men and marriage, and this is part 2. Just before we went for the break, we were asking the question, and we want to hear from Brian and Darren. Is there a right age to get married? And if yes, what is that age?
Well, should I go first?
Go through, bro.
Well, it's a very subjective question because there are a couple factors that both men and women consider when they're now thinking about getting married. For men in particular, the main thing on the top of our mind is, are we able to provide for a wife and children? Are we making enough money to do so? And so some people would say that probably your 30s is when it's the best time to get married, because by that time you'd have probably gone through your first or second job. You'd have probably learned some things about finance, and you probably put yourself in a better position to be able to afford a family. But that is forever changing. And I would say personally, if I had a son, I would do my very best to prepare him to get married in his early 20s. And that's what I would encourage him to do. But because majority of our young people are being raised by single mothers or coming up in broken homes, not many of our young men have the guidance necessary and definitely needed to take on marriage in their early 20s. Many of us are pretty much trying to figure things out on our own. And when it comes down to our earning capacity, that is usually linked to a degree, especially in the Jamaican context. And it's becoming increasingly difficult for us to stand out in the job marketplace as the requirements for even entry-level jobs are becoming higher and higher. Just the other day, I saw an advertisement for a parking attendant who needed to have a bachelor's of science degree in tourism management, right?
Yeah.
So you see, it's becoming increasingly harder for us as young men to be gainfully employed so that we can have the confidence to approach marriage. And so the ideal age, probably by socioeconomic status, I would say probably 30s. But I would recommend that most men aim to get married in their early 20s once they have the finances to afford it.
That's the perspective there of Darren. Someone, if he had his own way, early 20s.
Yeah.
But because of the socioeconomic factors, he's thinking maybe in the 30s or so. Brian, your perspective.
Yeah, I mean, to a certain degree, I also agree with Darren. I think it changes over different generations as well. But it's not so much, the age is the level of maturity. And as Darren says, especially as a man, am I able to take care of somebody else? Let alone myself. Am I in the right position to take care of somebody else? Am I in the right mindset and frame of mind to take care of a woman, someone I will call my wife and eventually have children with? So I say between maybe like 25 and up. if you are at that mature level, even at 25. But really and truly, it really depends on how mature as a man you are and the position you are in for real. That's what I believe.
Wow, thank you, Brian. It's amazing because psychologists tell us developmentally, men may not be fully developed brain-wise until in their 25 years and up. So they're still trying to find themselves. And the research will tell us that the rate of divorce is pretty higher the earlier you get married, especially now in the Western Hemisphere. So there are some perspectives here from our listeners. One say there is no right age to get married. Once a person has found the right partner, they can consider to get married once in the right position. Wonder what's the right position there. And another listener says, I don't think there is a perfect age. However, by 30 years old, a male would or should have matured sufficiently, progressed in his career, and should have the confidence in himself to lead a home or family. Thank you so much, listeners, for participating.
Hey, Kevin, I'm wondering, based on what I hear, Paul was always right when he says, I wish all men were like me and remain unmarried. The responsibility for a man seems to be burdensome, not only accountable, but burdensome. Pay the bills. Gentlemen, we're in this position, and we have to ask a question. Is dating, courtship, marriage pressuring, especially for the man? What was your experience in dating, courtship, and eventually marriage? Brian?
For me, my experience, I think when I had reached the place there where I wanted to settle down, and there are a factor of things that, I felt like I was in the mindset and frame of mind to really have conversations that would lead to, with females, that would lead to marriage and be serious about it. My friends as well, my close network of people were in males around me, young males around me, were in the similar phase. Among five of us, all five of us got married almost within this, like, over a span of about 5 to 6 years. And so it was just a mixture of things. I'm just like, yeah, man, I feel like I'm in this time where I want to find somebody who I can get to know and, settle down with. Now, the process of doing that was a whole other thing, finding that right person, getting to know her, understanding her. With my experience, from my experience, was getting to know two females, different females at a certain time, and saying, all right, cool, this one, I definitely believe that, it is leaning on the pace of marriage. But especially for my marriage, it was very, I don't want to say really God-guided. and just how God brought things together for me and my wife. It's really a story for another time, but it definitely shows that God has to be in the midst of it, so it's not just yes, I'm ready, or yes, I'm in that place, but I need to be led by the Lord to know, like, all right, Lord, who is that person? Is this person right for me? Is she the one I can definitely settle down with? Is it somebody I am compatible with? You know my heart and myself more than I do. Show me, Lord,
Thanks, Brian. Darren, anything you want to add there?
Sure. For me, my dating experience has definitely been a roller coaster ride, very tumultuous. I have many stories. But I can say that my main challenge in coming up into becoming a young man is always wondering if I was ever good enough. Was I good enough? And of course, I've experienced challenges, especially surrounding finances. And I think I can definitely say that's one of the motivating forces behind why I work so hard, because I'm a romantic, and I love love, and I love to love, and I love to be very giving to my woman. And of course, during dating, I'd be inviting girls to dinner and buying gifts and flowers and all these things. And it didn't always end up the way I would have liked it to, because I've always been marriage minded. I've grown up a Christian. I've always been marriage minded. And so, but at each level, it always would seem as if I didn't have enough money. I didn't make enough money to.
Hey, Darren, stick it right there. We're going to take a break. When we come back, we allow you to finish. It's 6 p.m. right here in Kingston City, Love 101 FM. We take a break and then we'll be right back after this.
Integrity man.
There's a lot to learn about credit cards, but here are 2 frequently used terms to help you on your journey. Interest payable. That means how much interest you have to pay on any outstanding amounts. Minimum payment. The smallest amount of money you have to pay each month to keep your account current. Always remember, it is best to pay your credit card in full and on time. This financial literacy tip was brought to you by Bank of Jamaica, building an inclusive economy.
Febreze. Imagine getting home after a long day and it smells so amazing that it makes you smile. Try Febreze Plus, an air freshener that delivers continuous scent for up to 50 days when you plug it in low mode. Indulge in wonderful scents for weeks with Febreze.
Get the skills and certification that equates to jobs and money worldwide. In 3 to 4 months at the Distinction College, start day, evening, and Saturday classes in pharmacy technician, bartending and mixology, project and HR management, cosmetology, airline ticketing, and sales. No subjects required, no age limits, no entrance tests. Register this week and win an additional course for free. Or visit us in Kingston, Spanish Town, and Ocho Rios, or call us at 876-356-4167. Distinction College, the school of champions.
Sometimes all we need is a listening ear. The listening ear, the counseling, the logical reasoning, and spiritual guidance are what appeal to us. That's why I'm here. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, the counselor, your counselor on Love 101 FM, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. You know you can call on me. I will listen and more. So let's talk about what's bothering you. Anything. Tune in, listen, call in, text or voice message. I'm Dr. Joan Pinkney, counseling psychologist, ready with a listening ear, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, 10 to 11 p.m. right here on the family station, Love 101 FM.
I am a man, yes. Strong man, integrity man.
Welcome back. This is the Mailbox here every Wednesday at 5:30 p.m. on your favorite gospel station, Love 101 FM. Courtney Morrison, Kevin Bailey in the place, and our very special guests, Brian Beadle and Darren Salmon. Before we took the break, Darren, you were sharing us your romantic adventures and just how you found dating as a romantic. So please continue, share with us.
Yeah, man. So yeah, I was saying that in my whole dating process, money was definitely a thing that was like an issue. Not in terms of me being able to afford, but it just felt as if money is what women, valued. But I did find that there were women who liked me for me. And that's who I ended up marrying, someone who liked me for me. And I think that is very valuable. One of the challenges that most of us face is to find somebody that we like and they like us back. Because we can like people, but they don't feel the same way about us, or we can't necessarily hold it against them, we can't cuss them off. We just have to accept it what it is and understand that we can only marry one person. We can't marry 2, 3, 4. It's not like the Bible days.
Right.
And so if we can only marry one person, we need to identify a person who loves us and accepts us as we are, without, if everything were to fall away, to fade away, they would still stand by us. And once you're able to identify a person like that, that's a diamond. That's a gem to hold on to.
So Darren, a follow-up question, Darren and Brian. What do you look for as a man? What do you look for in a woman to say this woman is marriage type? And then expand that to say, what should men look for so that they have a committed marriage until death do us part and enjoy this marriage? Yeah.
All right. Well, I say, from me, I always come from a biblical perspective. And so I would definitely tell young men to, read and memorize certain scriptures in the book of Proverbs. Also, various stories in the Bible. For example, how Isaac was brought to marry Rebecca, how she was identified, the type of personality, the type of spirit that she had. And look out for that for within the young women who are in the body of Christ. You're seeking to observe for that servant heart, that willingness to work and put in effort for not only serving the Lord, but also serving friends and family and serving you. An ideal wife is a helpmate, a server. And as we as men are seeking to be leaders, we should also be servant leaders, leading as Christ leads the church. And so the main thing to look out for in a potential wife, my brothers in the Lord, is that servant heart and that Proverbs 31 mindset.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much, Darren. Brian, a servant heart. Let's hear.
Let me just add on to that. Definitely a servant heart and compatibility. You definitely want compatibility with the person. You want to know, you definitely want to know that they like stuff that you like. They are comfortable with stuff that you are interested in. They are interested in stuff, and you're interested in stuff that they're interested in. And no, it doesn't have to be everything, but you want to know that this person, that this woman is somebody that you can say, yeah, because Darren talked about liking someone, and it's a lot of times you realize like a person will say, oh, they love the person, but they don't really like to be around them. They don't really like them. And friendship is also one of those very important things. Can this person not just be a lover, but can they be your friend? Can they be somebody that you can trust? Can she be somebody that you can really share your heart with, and she listens to you and she hears it out and she doesn't respond in condemnation, maybe in concern, yes, but she responds in the love. can she be somebody that you can give a seed and she out of it makes a plant? You understand? It talks about how she can use the things that you will give her, because even in that money situation, you don't want it's good to make sure you're bringing in the money, but you want to know that she also has ways to multiply it or use it or bring it in, make the household in a way where you can say, yeah man, I see those different ideal things in her. So those are my add-ons to what Darren said.
Excellent, excellent. The scripture does state, though, he who finds a wife, you know, and I love to tell persons there's a difference between a wife and just a woman.
Which is right.
And also who is a female, just as there's a difference between male as well as husband and man. You know, when someone finds a wife, they find favor. Yes, 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 yes. Otherwise, she may still hold the position of woman. But I want to ask a question as well. Yes, those are characteristics that you're looking out for. What about your own expectations? And we're not talking about from a positive fear, pressure that we face as men. Again, Darren spoke to it, desire for a healthy socio-economic relationship before marriage, soaring wedding costs, even though I give solutions to that. Invite everyone to the church, only special guests to the reception. And I had over 200 persons at the church, but only a few at the reception, only what I could afford. The marriage occurs at the church. But how does a man get past these fears, this high pressure situation as some see it? What does he have to do? We spoke a little bit about it last week. What does he have to do? That's a men fear commitment. I'm trying to figure out if that is what it really is.
Well, I think that we as men just have to get, zoned in on our purpose. There's a lot of men who are purposeless. They don't really understand what their purpose in life is. And some of them may have a burning desire to pursue their purpose, but they're not sure if that purpose is going to generate for them the income necessary to take care of themselves and somebody else in this day and age. But I believe that the Lord gives us all a purpose. We have gifts, we have talents, and we have problems that we may identify in the world that we can fix. And that is at the heart of every successful business. The business owner would have identified a problem, fixed it, found a solution of how to address it, and then monetize that solution. And that's the business. And you find that the most successful people in this world are business owners. And so for us as men, we definitely need to move away from the idea that we need a high-paying job in order to be successful, in order to be able to provide for ourselves and our families. If we can become more focused on our purpose and allowing that to grow. You might start off very small, you might not be able to, you might have to be working a job while working at your purpose at the same time. But eventually, over time, with consistency and dedication and hard work, it will grow to the place where it can replace your job and continue to grow exponentially. And with the right woman by your side, supporting your dreams and your goals, being that that foundation in the home, there is no limit to what we as men can accomplish with the right support by our side, especially if we're living and walking out our purpose.
Thanks, Darren. Brian, just to add in your answering the question, I was speaking to a young man in his late 20s, and he says that a lot of the Christian women have become materialistic. Like, he can't believe they would say that the husband money belong to both of them, but their money is their money. And they have an expectation that the husband will take care of them fully, but they would just spend their money the way they want to. In answering your question, can you incorporate a response to that, Brad?
Wow. So, firstly, in answering the question, as Darren talks about finding their purpose, A purpose is definitely so one thing that you can definitely use to learn to be committed. And I think when you talk about men being afraid of commitment, learn to commit to things, learn to finish things, learn to put things into perspective, long term, whether it be short term or long term, especially things that are long term. If you're a part of a ministry, learn to commit to that, learn to commit to something and see it through. And I believe when you are committing to things and seeing them through, it will give you the courage to at least say, all right, I know I'm able to commit to a thing long term. I know I will be able to do things and see them through, whether the rough times, the tough times, or the good times. In response to even that, I've heard some of those thought processes as well. And here's the truth. The truth is if that, I think women are being, a lot of women are trying to be real in the sense of they realize how much it does take when it comes on to being in a marriage or seeing marriages, and how much the financial aspect of it does take on a lot, and especially with men. I say if you have conversations with women that align to what you believe, that align to what you, if she's being someone that you can say, she doesn't just look at her money is her money and your money is her money and all of that stuff. She sees it as one thing. So when we're in the family, it's one family, it's us. We're working together, we're building wealth and we're building our health together financially. And it's not about what you have is what you have and what I have is I have. It's about how can we make this marriage work? How can we build a future for our family? And if you find a woman that has that mindset, then you don't need to worry about what every other woman is saying. And I think sometimes where men will come and say, but all of the women, and it's not all of the women then. No. If you really have conversations with the right women or the right woman, she's not going to say that. Or that's not going to be the issue that you're going to have.
You know, you beg me to ask a question. We love to talk about real men, you know. And this is a male program, but you almost make me ask who is a real woman, you know. It's 6:15 and we're going to be going for a final break. You know, one of the questions that I want to come back to. Men, when you go and get your hair cut, your wives always want to be advisors or tell you how it is. But when she goes to the hairdresser, do you play a part? We're going to come right back after these messages here. We're upon our final break. The program is The Mailbox.
Man,
indeed.
yes. Strong man, integrity man.
It's Black Friday Madness again. Jamaica, we are giving you another weekend of mega discounts. The Black Friday Mega Sale Part 2 at Woman Things. Every single item in store, 30 to 70% off this Friday, December 6th, with big Saturday specials too. It's Black Friday again at Woman Things, Old Road Road and Constant Spring Road. Discounts are nice. We are doing it twice. See you there.
Jamaica and its workforce are advancing quickly. Life-changing opportunities are arising. You need training and support. We are the Renewed Heart NSTA Trust, committed to providing new and emerging skills training and opportunities. Come to Heart. We'll help you claim your place in the workforce of the future.
It's almost Christmas, and Phosphorus is inviting you to Christmas in November Super Sale, November 21 to December 1. Enjoy massive discounts on lighting, chandeliers, wall lamps, electrical plugs, wires, conduits, and so much more in Kingston, Mandeville, and Montego Bay. Christmas come early, and we'll be unwrapping massive discounts of up to 60% off. It's Christmas in November Super Sale, November 21 to December 1, only at Phosphorus.
Oh, I get so much pain from. I know, sir. Sure, we're going to have stretch and for the Christmas. You want to know the money when we give them and look at the amount of pain that we get.
Stretch your dollar at Sherwin-Williams this Christmas with 18% off select decorative paint from November 25 to December 21.
Sherwin-Williams to get on this one? You know, long more pit mouse. This can't make me.
Hurry to any of our 23 stores island-wide. You don't want to miss this amazing offer. Conditions apply.
Here's why you can't afford to miss the Morning Watch.
I love listening to the Morning Watch because topics are discussed and issues are highlighted that are of major importance, which in turn edify me.
The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays.
I like listening to the Morning Watch. I find it very informative. I find it very interesting. The topics that are covered are very, very wide.
The Morning Watch, thought-provoking, insightful, current. Listen for the probing questions with attorney at law Stokely Marshall and the in-depth discussion with Reverend Dr. Dylan Toussaint. The Morning Watch, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. The Morning Watch is on the family station Love 101.
Yes.
Welcome back to the program, The Mailbox. I'm Pastor Courtney Morris, sitting with Kevin Bailey as co-host. Brian Beadle and Darren Salmon are our guests. We're talking about marriage and young men. This is part 2. Do you, gentlemen, do you believe that it's trivial, when it comes on to the matters of wife? We just spoke about the finances. My money is my money and your money is my money. When it comes on to looks, do you play a part in how your wives adorn themselves? Is it also the other way around? Brian, should you wear your hair as it is on your beard? Honey, I don't like you looking like that. You should do something, but you see your wife come back with her hair cut low and 2 streaks in the side and it's colored. How does that work? Yeah, how do you gentlemen function in that arena?
Right. Well, I have a...
Be careful now, your wives might be listening.
I know she's listening, and I want to say I have an amazing wife. Wonderful, wonderful wife. And I'll be honest, I've been through many hairstyles. Many hairstyles.
For yourself or her?
For her. And she's been through a few of them myself. And to be honest, I've reached a place where I trust her when it comes on to her hair. And because she has also a certain history with her hair, I trust her when she takes on. But there have been a few times I was like, babe, I'm not sure if this one fits. And you have to know how to do it, You have to know how to do it. Because it's also on the return. So for example, if I should ever come home and this gone, it's problem. If this, because she likes the beard, she wants to feel it, and it does play a role. As some people might think it's trivial, but it does play a role in how the intimacy factor, the attraction factor. There is something that you want to see about your partner, because that's, especially as a man, that is also something. Let's be very honest. That is something that did draw you to them. That's something. The looks, how they move, when she walk, when she put on that dress, all those different things. That's something that did draw you to her as well. And so therefore you want to have a certain input. It's just how we do the input. And sometimes, as I said, we have to be careful because we don't want to be disrespectful. And especially for a woman, it's much deeper than we think. So we have to know and build that communication level.
Certainly, Brian. Thank you so much for responding. Darren, what is this a trivial thing or is it a big thing in your relationship?
It is a big thing. Aesthetics is important to me, and my wife does know very much about that. When it comes on to her hair, she goes to the hairdresser probably once a month. She went twice this last one, but one for her birthday, and then we had a dinner party that she had to prepare for. And she does her thing. I allow her to do. She put in the braids, the extensions, and she usually looks very nice after doing her hair, and I compliment her. And she's a very beautiful lady, and so I let her do her thing. I trust her, and she knows that I prefer long hair, and so when she does it, long to her back and stuff like that. So I have no problem with how she does her hair. She has no problem with how I do my hair. I typically do the same haircut. I'm not very. I don't do a lot of variety with my hair. I typically do the same thing, and she loves it. When I get my hair, she rubs down my head and appreciates when I am freshly cut. Yeah.
Oh, a long and lasting love, and Shine It is present. No, gentlemen, a scenario I want you to comment on. Some ladies say because they are successful, they have their degrees, they have a nice car. Sometimes they even buy a studio apartment before they get married, and know the man is courting them, finding out that they're very successful, and the man can't handle it because he barely has started, earning and saving or things like that. How does a man navigate that, Brian, and then Darren, where he is a bit apprehensive, create some anxieties because he now date a successful woman who has more than him materially?
Well, I think it's two parts. So I'll say this. Firstly, a man who knows his value also knows that he's not just valuable when he has money. Yeah, it means there are other things that you will now need to show. So okay, you don't have the money, the apartment, all the things. You have ambition. You definitely do want to be able to provide for your family one day and provide for her and those things. But maybe you're not in that position. Show other aspects of leadership. Show other aspects of resourcefulness. Show other aspects of how you can care and protect her. Because maybe right now that's what you can show. How you protect her. What are the ideas that when she brings them to you, how do you help her to execute and do and get things done? Because a woman will appreciate that. A lot of times men will think it's just about the money, it's just about the money. And most times for a lot of women, it's for a good amount of women, it's not. They want to know that, they want to see that you can lead. And so if you're in a position where, yes, you have quote unquote everything that she wants to answer, then it means that you have to bring something else to the table that is of value. On the other side, the woman also has to allow him to lead, have to allow him to give him that space. All right, show me what are you bringing to the table, because clearly you're not able to bring the finances and the money and this. What else can you bring to the table that is of value to me and of value to relationship? But she also has to be willing to let him lead and show her and give him the space to do the necessary things that can, in her eyes, she can say, yeah, and why it is important for her to see that is because I believe all women will reach a level where maybe they don't want to be working and doing this and doing that. She wants to know that if she decides tomorrow to stop working, to stop the hustle and bustle, will you make sense of it all? Will you be able to hold her down when that is possible? But she also has to allow, she has to give that space for it. That's what I believe.
Thanks, Brian. I'm happy how you have also made it known that it's not finances alone that gives an outlook of success. There are other things that present a successful woman. Darren, your approach to this, we're coming down to the wire.
Yeah, it's a tough one because if you think about who we are naturally as men and who women are naturally, women are hypergamous in that they are seeking somebody who is either on their level or higher. And men naturally want to be providers and protectors. And the most basic way we know how to do so is, with our finances. So we want to be able to provide the home and to provide the resources that will pay for the food and provide the security that a woman needs. We feel as if a woman will more likely cling to us and see us as a necessary part of their lives if we are providing them with that with a certain level of security. Now, when a woman has it all together already, and now we come in and we're probably not on their level, yeah, there can be some feelings of intimidation. And especially if that woman is not necessarily allowing the man to show up for her that in a way that makes him feel like, okay, he's actually adding value in this situation, then he might feel as if he is possibly replaceable. The less needed we feel in a woman's life is the more likely we are to shy away from committing to this woman. And so a woman has to be mindful of the fact that a man needs to feel needed. He needs to feel valuable. And whatever level he is on, that's what he's going to bring. So if he was taught that going to school and getting an education and getting a degree and getting a good job is what makes him a valuable man, that's what he's going to come with. Now, if he comes with that to a woman who is an entrepreneur, she owns a couple salons, she has people working for her, and she's probably bringing in $1 million per month from her business, her position is going to be kind of hard for him to
10 seconds to wrap up. Sorry about that. Time's gone.
Yeah, so, but just final words is that the woman needs to be mindful of the fact that the man wants to be valuable to her, and the man definitely needs to raise his standard when it comes down to being that provider.
Wow, men have a difficult life. That's my conclusion. Gentlemen, we could go on and on, but we have come to the end of the program.
Yes.
So we want to say, indeed, thanks to you both, to our guests, Brian and Darren Salmon, Brian Beadle and Darren Salmon, to our operations manager, Dr. Nadine Blair, Derval Graham, technical, is in studio support, Jermaine Johnson, our producer. Indeed, we end the show, the scope, marriage is honorable in all and the bed undefiled, but whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. That's Hebrews 13, verse 4, King James.
So this was the program designed for men with guests who are men. Catch you next week, Wednesday, December 11, 2024. Same place, same time inside the mailbox. And the mailbox was brought to you today by Solid PVC Pipes, manufactured in Jamaica by Fosrich Company Limited.
Have a great evening, everyone. Bless you.
Yeah. Monday up.
I am a man, yes. It's the most wonderful time of the year. And you're invited to the season